So we've got some new Sylvanas voiceovers, and these set the internet on fire.
I don't remember the exact moment.
You know, oh yeah, I have the dislike thing, so there you go. Now, a part of being in our position too is sometimes, a part of being responsible is trying to work out, there's the most dramatic thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the other reads of the situation. And the most dramatic read of this is that actually this is about the jailer and the story makes no sense. The less dramatic and perhaps more accurate read of this is she's actually talking about Arthas in Warcraft 3, in which case it makes more sense. Probably they're going to go with the one that makes more sense. So it's probably that. And that is one of the things that we have very, very much got to take into account when we're talking about data mining that doesn't come out with full context. So let's get into it. I don't remember the exact moment I wrestled control. I do remember the rush of freedom, the clarity of purpose. When I loosed my arrow, I sought to become his judge and his executioner. I thought that if I could punish him for his crimes, I would be absolved of mine. Forgive him for the atrocities he forced me to commit against my own people, but there would be no justice that day for anyone. That is yet to come. Now, is this whenever she loosed her arrow at the chuckler himself, the sigiled up, roided, total Chad of Zovaal? Could be. And if it was that, it really wouldn't make a great deal of sense, because I don't remember the exact moment I wrestled control. Because a lot of people are saying, oh, Sylvanas was mind controlled by the jailer the whole time. Now, the thing is, the developers have said to us that that's absolutely not been the case repeatedly for like years now.
Mm.
So it's almost as if this is the bit where she wrestled, control from the Lich King and fired a poisoned arrow at Arthas in the hopes of becoming his judge and executioner and killing him slowly, because she kind of hated all the terrible things she did as a banshee and wanted absolution from that, and that's been a core part of her character for a long time.
See, I don't remember. If you remember, refresh me on when she regained control after Arthas. What was the time gap there? Because I don't remember it being very clear.
Honestly, it's fuzzy, and they're very happy to massage Warcraft 3 into whatever at this stage.
It's
Warcraft 3.
Yeah, sorry, it was actually sometime after, whenever the Lich King lost control because he was weakened.
Yeah. Well, she's not saying that all of this happened at once.
Yeah, of course.
She wrestled control, and then she made her plot, and then when she loosened the arrow. So this is not Shadowlands. Sylvanas was not mind-controlled in the Shadowlands. This is almost certainly not Blizzard trying to redeem Sylvanas. What they are probably doing is drawing, because why are we referencing this scene? They're probably wanting to draw a bit of a parallel.
Yeah.
Now that parallel has a decent chance of making really not that much sense, because in one of these cases, she was mind-controlled, in the other one, she was duped. She was had. And those are very, very, very different. And they could try to draw a parallel. If they do so, probably won't work, probably would be silly. But that said, we also have no context for this. We don't know the scene that it plays out in, so that's it. We don't know. And acting as if we did know, that would just be us going back to Bill Burr and the dog, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So, that's not the thing to do. The only way to say this is that it's probably not the most dramatic read that you could possibly have on it. It's probably something a little bit more reasonable. Will it work? Will it not work? We don't know. Given the recent track record, it'll probably work if you make a slight stretch, but maybe won't feel great. If I was to sort of, maybe something like that.
Yes. That makes sense. I'm certainly concerned that they're trying to set up a parallel a little bit too hard. Trying to hammer home, oh no, this is exactly like when she was like lit with our mind control by Arthas, but slightly different. It's like, I don't know. I get that you're trying that, but I don't know if that's working for people, or if that's even the right thing to do, because, well, I guess you're already this deep in the hole of destroying the sanctity of Arthas' Lich King, might as well finish the job, I guess.
Yeah. Well, maybe this is going to be me trying to steel man them, who knows, but you could say that Sylvanas would have had such a strong reaction from, the whole Arthas experience that would have driven her to be more extreme, and then, give her the blind spots that leads to the jailer, and that's kind of what they're trying to draw here. But it's the sort of thing, makes sense. Will it feel good when the story's told? We don't know yet, because the story hasn't been told yet. These are just data mine fragments. But
so dangerous.
Yes, I think that's maybe the main takeaway from both of us. They're in dangerous territory. They will have always known they've been in dangerous territory.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Arthas is going to come up.
Yeah. I mean,
Don't mess up Arthas, please.
This is the one thing I think that... one of the most important things I think the developers should maybe take away from this. Obviously, they're not going to be able to do this within Shadowlands time development-wise, but they really need to separate their branches internally for releasing stuff. Because if we see a 10.0 alpha and it just has a load of plot details that are like, voice lines and stuff like that and a load of broadcast text from encounters, then that's just going to tell us what the
Let's
game
make
is.
a video about this on the Warcraft channel.
We absolutely will.
Because guess what's coming out tomorrow?
The raid?
Of course, the raid testing's out tomorrow.
Yep,
Nothing
the raid
else.
testing, yep.
Yeah, I've been getting ready to have my character in the PTR and everything. No, but like Endwalker's coming out tomorrow, and we don't know what's going to happen. We have no idea. There has been no beta. No beta. No data mining. No nothing. It's the sort of thing, look, I love the data mining. It's really fun to get into.
Yeah.
I still do think that it would be better for players of Warcraft if none of that existed. If there was no data mining, if it was just fucking possible, if there was no PTR, no nothing. Again, I'm not saying that as a diss. And there's a bunch of people like, oh, WoW have ruined the story. They've ruined World of Warcraft. And sometimes you see sort of Blizzardy people kind of echo some of that sentiment. And it's like, you guys release the information in a pretty accessible way publicly. Yeah. If Wowhead doesn't cover it, someone will. Yep. This is something driven by economics.
Yeah, I mean, they I don't know if they literally support Wowhead, but they basically do because it's let exist.
WoW supports them.
Yeah.
I don't mean that literally. I mean, Blizzard would be fucked without Wowhead.
Yeah, so that's a thing where, that's a well-established relationship. So they're not going to take the FF approach and go, if you data mine our client, we will kill you. Not literally, but, figuratively speaking. Probably literally no Yoshi. Was it Stormblood leaks? He fired a whole department.
What?
Yeah. There was, I think it was as other QA, I think it was, I want to say European QA. I think they found some Stormblood leaks came from them and the entire department gone. At least that's the story. I'm not sure if it's 100% true.
Yeah, no, if that is how it is, then actually I don't like that, because in that case somebody would have been fired and they would have done no wrong if the entire department was gone. And if that is the case, then that seems very unfair.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I find it hard to believe.
I'm not sure if that's true, but that's what people say about the data mining stuff, and that's why the only data mining happens is deep secretly in hidden discords that no one's allowed to know about. And,
I'm happy enough with like even the Apple policy of leaks, where it's like, yeah, if you leak, we actually have an internal bit of our company who's going to fucking hunt you down so you can be fired, or maybe criminal shit brought against you, because guess what? You violated all the shit you agreed to and leaked our plans. Like, I'm fine for a company doing that. Yeah. If Blizzard was to, just say, all right, no PTR, no data mining, nada. I mean, imagine how much more exciting the content would be.
Apparently, according to Sylvanas, it was a Stormblood leaker from NA's QA that revealed the Blue Mage 8 months ahead of time, and they were removed, but the department wasn't. So I think people have played a little bit of what's
Chinese Whispers?
Yeah, I was gonna say what's the term now, because I don't think Chinese Whispers is.
Yeah, I've always wondered where that came from. It was always like the term we'd hear growing up. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's maybe not the most charitable term.
I'm fairly sure we whisper everywhere.
Yeah, I think it's probably just a mistranslation thing, something like that. But so telephone, that's what they call it. Yeah, telephone. We've called it Chinese Whispers. That's what teachers would call it in school back in the day. I never really knew why it was called that. But yeah, I think a game of telephone's a far more reasonable way. I've never heard Chinese Whispers. Must be a UK thing. Yep. Maybe it is a UK thing. Yeah, I have no idea where it comes from. Yeah, it's a British one. Yep.
Oh, of course, because they had a presence.
Yeah.
In China. Interesting. So that's probably all tied to some rather dark history.
Yep.
Actually, most of those friggin' things from your childhood are probably tied to some dark history.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Well, there you go.
Interesting. Chinese Whispers wasn't actually its original name. It was adopted in the mid-20th century.
What?
After that, it was called Russian Gossip. Oh, the Brits are
damn
people. I think. Oh dear.
That's it. As a communist speaking.
Oh my god, yeah. So telephone's the correct one because the quality of the as anyone who's been on a phone knows, the quality of communication codec for telephone fucking sucks. So yeah.
Aye. So there you go, everyone. Once again, we have got extremely sidetracked.
Whoops.
So okay then, right. Sylvanas, if the jailer has breached the sepulchre. So if the jailer has broken the sepulchre, he is but a breath away from enacting his plan. That's not what Sylvanas sounds like. Bolvar, the crispy man, we cannot allow that to happen. You all have witnessed the jailer's power firsthand, without the means to resist his domination. We have no chance against him. Sylvanas, Anduin may be key if we can save him from... How dare you speak of freeing him after all you've done? Very productive, Jaina. But you can maybe understand why Jaina would be just a little bit pissed off with Sylvanas.
So...
Should I say Sylvanas?
Right, okay. I have one thing to say about this, right?
Okay.
This is bad. This is bad.
Oh, is it?
I think this is bad, right?
Oh,
so...
news is in, everyone.
Yeah, so they've done so much to bring Jaina and Anduin together as characters. Not really in game, but in Shadows Rising.
Big yes.
They're very, very, very close. Why is Jaina going, Anduin free? No, Sylvanas bad. I don't buy that she's not immediately going, Anduin, let's get him back. You're a bastard, Sylvanas, but we need your help to get Anduin back. This feels like Jaina's losing her marbles again.
So as Bangy Bang You're Dead. Wow. Said Jaina is a woman because she can't control her emotions. Unhappy face. That is a fairly common trope in writing whenever sort of women are written that way. But obviously, I have my own perspective, not a woman, in case you noticed. Yep. So I would have a question to the women in the audience. Do you feel that women in the Warcraft universe are written in sort of a tropey way? Because at least to me, I think about Sylvanas' big moments, and they've basically all just been, can't control her emotions, instantly gives up the whole friggin' game. Yep. Jaina's had a few of those moments. They keep on doing the thing of, it seems to me anyway, of like, woman gets angry, has a costume makeover, and that's how it goes. It's happened. Okay, so a lot of people are saying yes. Oh, there's somebody saying absolutely not. So I'm totally open to any opinion there. I really want to hear what people have to say. I also think it could be a case that perhaps sometimes the ladies actually have better, more like emotional story arcs that maybe are befitting of more emotional moments. Maybe the guys don't get that as much, so maybe it just seems that way.
They're all just slightly different versions of dad.
Yeah. So I don't know, but a lot of people do seem to say yes. There's a few people who also say no. So, yeah. Who knows? I don't really claim to be an authority on it, but a lot of people are saying they find it to be a bit tropey.
Yeah, it's the first thought I've had thinking about how much, how grim Jaina's had it. And every time it's been, obviously bad things have happened, of course, but it's just too angry to do the right thing. Obviously, we assume they are going to do the right thing and go free Anduin. But the fact that her first response isn't, oh, thank God we can save Anduin, the person I care about very deeply, who's also very important to the Alliance and basically everything. It's, no, fuck you. How dare you? That just feels like... It feels like it's kind of just Jaina's one note. Because she did it with the Sunreavers. She did it with, after the Mana Bomb. Which, after that, fair enough, that was pure rage.
Oh God, yeah.
But it's just always pure rage. It's always just, no, I must fucking kill everyone. It's never like, okay, we'll think about this and focus.
I guess, given how much of the, honestly, pretty, maybe I got that confused because I think, it was Fi who I maybe misread their past comment because their new comment does say the way they write women is atrocious, really tropey. So maybe it actually is that. So yeah, it's an interesting because you want to be able to write characters, whatever way makes sense for the character. And sometimes you get that thing where, a trope, it's like, yeah, you can apply a trope like so liberally to everything that you can just say everything's tropey. So sometimes it's like there's a character who could act in a tropey way, but it totally makes sense for them in the story. And, in that case, it's good. I think it's just whenever the story is constructed such that it's really only those elements that or those things that happen that's maybe a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
So interesting.
It's like I guess generally speaking, no, fuck you, Sylvanas is Tyranda's role, but Tyranda's not there because she's just having a sleep after Night Warrior?
No, I think she is involved in this patch. She's just not datamined yet.
Oh, right.
That's the thing to remember.
Okay, I thought she was having a sleep after Night Warrior time. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. No, I think she is involved in this. I remember that from something. I just want to say thank you for all your opinions, everybody.
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
And actually, there are lots of really great examples of women in WoW who don't sort of fall foul of those tropes.
Yeah,
I think it's just often those are more the smaller characters.
Yeah,
who don't get as much of the limelight. And maybe that's something a lot of players have said. Like we want to see more Talia.
Yeah.
I honestly at this stage, I'd rather see Talia than fucking Jaina.
Yeah, we've seen enough of her and her. I don't think Jaina was very satisfyingly concluded in BFA after all of the hype from the Warbringer stuff. It was pretty okay, but I felt like it could have maybe went a little bit longer.
They don't
maybe that was just time.
They don't conclude things. They conclude things by giving you Jaina and Anduin, really good Jaina and Anduin dialogue in a book.
Oh yeah,
but they don't conclude things in game as much. More Kalia too, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with Talia. I thought she was a really cool character, and I enjoyed her when she was on screen. I really wanted more of her in the game, and I was excited to see her in the Shadowlands, but she's not really done much. So no, that's interesting. But thank you for sharing all your opinions, everybody, and it's good to read. To continue with this then, so yes, Jaina, how dare you speak of freeing him after all you've done? I guess, I can totally see your point, Matt. It's like, well, come on, Jaina, you should care about Anduin more than you hate Sylvanas.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she did burn down Teldrassil, but it's not Jaina's place to be angry at that.
I really want to see Sylvanas just sit down and have a wee explain of everything from her perspective. Oh wait, that's a book. Bolvar, Sylvanas held the Mournblade that bound him. Her presence may help free Anduin from the jailer's grasp. Jaina, I will never trust her. So
that is fair.
It's fair. I wouldn't trust Sylvanas at all. I agree with you, Jaina. I'm very, you would be very angry at her. Yeah. But there you go.
Yeah.
It's a fragment from data mining. We've yet to see the whole scene, Yep. So, is what it is.